Hello and welcome. This is attorney Brad Micklin. I'm managing member of the Micklin Law Group, which is a law firm concentrated in divorce, custody, and family law issues, located in Nutley, New Jersey. Hopefully many of you know that I post on average a daily tip each day trying to give a little bit of advice for divorce and family law issues. I also do monthly webinars that have much more extensive 40, 50, sometimes 60-minute discussions on a certain legal topic. This video series is intended to be sort of a blend of both. A little more than a daily tip and a little less than the monthly webinars. I find that people like to watch videos more than read information, and they don't necessarily have that much time. So for today's topic, I'm going to discuss how you should be preparing for a divorce case, and usually you want to do as much in advance as possible. Now, every case, every divorce is going to be different. The issues that you have are going to be different. The people and personalities involved are going to be different. So preparation is always going to vary case by case. But there's some general guidelines that you can generally follow that are going to assist you mostly in any given divorce case. So the first thing you need to do is gather your documents. I generally say to most people, divorces have really 5 issues: assets, debts, alimony, child support, and legal fees. Almost all those issues are going to require some kind of financial document, so you might as well have them as far in advance as possible. I usually recommend at least 5 years also. Depending on the length of your marriage and the complexity of your issues, 5 is usually a good starting point. So you want to have your tax returns, you want to have your credit card statements, you want to have your retirement account statements, closing documents if you own or owned a house, and a real estate appraisal if you currently own a house. Now, if you and your spouse don't have the best of relationships, or maybe you're not as well versed in the finances of your family situation, you may also want to get either your husband or spouse's information, or start recording where their mail is coming from. A lot of times spouses have no idea where accounts are held or what accounts are actually held at all. So I usually recommend watch the mail that's coming in if you can't really ask them directly for it, so you can make a note of where accounts are likely to be held and then go search there for it. Next is you want to have certain documents in advance that you're going to need throughout your divorce case so that you get a chance to inspect them and maybe even prepare them so that when you get to the point of needing them, you're ready with them. First is a case information statement, and I believe you can go online and search for one. Now you have to be careful because there's a case information statement for family court and there's a case information statement for the appellate division. You do not want the one for the appellate division. It's entirely different. The case information statement, and there's a webinar on my website, micklinlawgroup.com, that really goes in great extent of how to fill out a case information statement, because it's one of the most important documents you're going to have in a divorce case. And if you have support issues of any kind, child support or alimony, you're going to need a case information statement. So it's very tedious. You really should have a copy of it and get some experience preparing it before you actually get into your case. Second thing I recommend you consider downloading is a motion packet. Even if you're going to have a lawyer in your case and that lawyer is going to be drafting your motions that you may have in the future, it's good to understand the different components and pieces to a motion so that you can assist in the preparation and not be waiting till the very last minute to help have it put together. Next, I think you want to review certain documents like the beneficiary designations on life insurance, the beneficiary designations on retirement accounts. You should also get in advance the forms that you're going to need to change those designations. You can't even do that during your divorce. For instance, retirement accounts will always require the spouse's signature to change it, but there's no reason you can't discuss changing it during the case or during the course of your divorce so that you don't have to do it last minute. But definitely get the forms to do it so you can do it right away. I think you also want to review your will. If you don't have one, you want to draft one as soon as possible. A lot of people will hesitate doing that because they think after their divorce they're going to need to do another one, which possibly is the case. But once you file for divorce, if you have a will, it's revoked by operation of law, which means it doesn't exist anymore. And if you die during your divorce, your property may be disposed of in a way that you didn't want and you didn't contemplate. So it's not a very difficult thing to do, at least to get a simple will put into place. It's not usually very costly, and I recommend that you do it right away. Lastly, these issues really depend on how complex your case may or may not be, but I think you want to interview several different lawyers. You want to know the different personalities and what kind of expectations you can get, as well as the costs. I think you want to interview counselors and therapists, especially if you have children. You may need them either going through the divorce as emotional support. You may need them for expert witnesses if there's going to be custody issues. And lastly, you probably want to interview some accountants. Most families share one accountant, and then when the divorce is over, obviously, each will probably need their own accountant. Now, not necessarily, I mean, you do have the right to stay with the past accountant, but it can't hurt you to interview some so you know if there's better ones out there, so you can just separate all of your information. That's generally what I tell my clients to prepare for in advance. There are obviously going to be different issues based on different cases. As I put into all my videos, you can also go to my website at micklinlawgroup.com. There are PDF downloads, there's a video consultation room, and a webinar archive page that I mentioned earlier that will have a great deal of resources for you. We don't require an email address. You don't have to fill out any kind of forms. You don't give us any information. Just simply down whatever is going to be relevant and helpful for you. If that's not enough, you can always call us at 973-562-0100, and we'll answer any questions we can at a consultation. Thank you.